Hi everyone, this is Norm Ayama, and you're welcome to the Inside Life and Godliness channel where we talk about faith and lifestyle. So, as you know, I want to discuss, just as you've seen by the thumbnail today. hmm, Sometime last week, I was coming back from church and I saw a big billboard on the road. It was a burial billboard of a man who was born, I think, in 1939 or thereabouts. I kind of calculated the age to this year, and the man was in his was 70s or 80s. And I just started thinking about how he would be one of the last people in his generation to have passed on now. And I thought about the fact that, I wonder what this man did during his time as a young person. I thought about what would have happened to his own parents if there's anyone that still remembers his parents, because of course he's a granddad. So will his children or will their children remember their great grandparents? Then I thought about his own grandparents, that is the generation before his own parents. And as I was thinking, I was just thinking of the fact that 5 generations before him or 7 generations before him, nobody remembers them. So even as I am now and I give birth to children and my children give birth to children, my grandchildren will know me. But as they advance, as they give birth to children, at some point, nobody's going to know me. Nobody's going to recognize me. Ever is going to remember that they came from my lineage. And it just made me think and ponder on the fact that you see this life, you really cannot live it to please any man. Because at the end of the day, everybody's going to die. At the end of the day, humans easily forget. Humans are quick to move on. Humans are quick to, they would make a judgment today and tomorrow. If things go the other way, their words change. Humans are not really reliable except the ones that God has helped. So at some point, this whole generation is going to pass away. But the only thing that will remain, the only thing that will be concrete, the only thing that will be viable is our service to God. It is how we served God, because that is going to count over there. Even after we leave this earth, that is going to count in eternity. And how we lived our lives according to God's will, how we lived our lives according to God's plan. Because things can happen, people can plan for you, people can make plans for you, people can have certain expectations of you. But at the end of the day, all of us are gonna die. And you have to check at the end of the day, whose plans are you willing to go with? Is it the plans of people? Is it the expectations of people, or the plans that God has for you? And I've been thinking about this because, as humans, it's easy for us not to think of their death, because we feel like we don't know when death is going to come, but we hope that it doesn't come sooner. We hope that it doesn't come soon. We hope that, we live to a certain age and then death comes. But the truth is, death happens. Death happens to the young. Death happens to the old. Death happens to the middle age. Death just happens. So in the while that you're here, have you given your life to Christ? Because that's what's going to count after. In the while that you're here, are you living to please God? Because that's what's going to count after. In the while that you're here, is your life going according to, are you hoping on God, trusting on God, allowing Him to guide you and to lead you one after the other? Because that is what is going to count after. If you pattern your life to please men, if you arrange your life in such a way that you want it to please men, at the end of the day, it's not men that are going to answer to God. Everyone is going to stand before God, and everyone is going to hear judgment from God. So the person that you are answerable to is God, is not man. So yes, people can give guidance. People can try and guide you because they love you and they care for you. People can try and dictate the people that are seemingly close, oh, because then again, there's also the part of expectation from external people. But I'm talking about internal people. They can try and guide you and help you because of they love you. But if their plan is not in line with God's plans for you, then you better go back and ask God to help you to stay firmly to the end. I'll leave here with this scripture, Ecclesiastes 12, verse 13. It says, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man." This is the entire summary of our life. That at whatever age that we're living here, at whatever age that we're finally going to leave this earth at, in whatever way, it will be in our record that we served God, that we pleased God, and then we're finally going to meet our Maker, and He will welcome us in His arms, saying, "Well done, good and faithful servants." So I hope you've learned a thing or two, because death, it's inevitable. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I'll see you in the next episode.